The situation in already troubled Yemen is once again difficult. After an extended period of civil war, the rebel leader, fanatical Shia Mahdite known as Abd al-Nabi ibn Ali ibn Mahdi, has come to power, and of course a wave of persecution falls upon the already poor and suffering Jews. In desperation, the leader, Rabbi Yaakov ben Natanel, appeals to the regional powers, and principally to Nasir Salah ad-Din Yusuf ibn Ya'ub, to intervene, and also turns to the world Jewish leadership for help. Though I could be referring to the 21st century, after all, Ein Chodosh Tachas HaShemesh, there's nothing new under the sun. In fact, I'm referring here to the events of the late 1160s. The regional power appealed to is Egypt, under the leadership of Ibn Ayyub, better known to us in the West as Saladin, and the Jewish leader appealed to is the Rambam. Saladin responds, and for his own considerations, eventually in 1174 sends his brother Turan Shah into Yemen, who brings peace and restores a moderate government to that area. And the Rambam responds with both financial and material assistance, and also his famed Igeret Teiman, his letter to the suffering Jewish community of Yemen, in which he offers words of encouragement and chizuk. And he shares with them a posuk at the start of the 7th chapter of Shir HaShirim, a difficult posuk to understand and one that I want to speak about for a few moments today. And the verse reads, Shuvi, Shuvi HaShalamis. The context is the metaphor, the extended allegory of Shir HaShirim, in which the relationship between the Jewish people and Hashem is compared to that between a husband and wife. It has its ups and downs. Sometimes the relationship is strong, sometimes it's more fraught and difficult and rocky. And there's always the voice of temptation, the seductress outside, trying to break apart the loving couple. And in this particular scene, the seductive voice turns to Shalamis, the wife, the metaphorically Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, and says, Shuvi, Shuvi, v'nechsibach, let's see what you can achieve outside of your relationship. To which the Jewish people respond, Matechsu b'Shalamis, k'macholas ha'machanaim. What can you offer us that matches the joys of the encampments, machaneh, the encampments that we had in the Midbar, the desert, as described in this week's Sedra? But this is difficult to understand. What is the great joy of being in an encampment in a desert? And how is this a response, a reply to the voice of temptation? And the Rambam answers this by referencing a medrash that picks up on a link between this encampment and the events of Har Sinai, Bamidbar Sinai, as per the first verse of the Sedra. And the Rambam says, the medrash says, that at the moment of Matan Torah, not only did we receive the Torah, but also Niftachu Arakia, the heavens opened up, and we saw the heavenly angelic forces, all arranged in sivos, aligned in their hosts. Miyad nisavu taiva gedola, when we saw the ordered manner of their arrangement, we felt a great longing, says the Medrash, and we turned to Hashem and we said, Halavai, if only we too could be arranged in sivos, arranged in hosts in formation. And Hashem responded by saying, I will also give you this. Each person can encamp in the desert, in their own family arrangement, in their own tribe, on their flag, l'tzivosom, in an ordered, host-like manner. So what on earth is going on in this medrash? What's this great longing that the Jewish people felt? And what's Hashem's response to it? Says the Rambam very beautifully that when the Torah was given, the heavens opened. This means to say that they saw the spiritual roots of everything in creation. They understood that everything that exists in the world is there to serve a purpose, not just for the material and physical pleasures it can bring, but in order to achieve something with it. And everything in the world has clarity as to its role. It obeys robotically the laws of science, the laws of nature, the laws of spiritual existence. It understands and acts in accordance with its angelic spiritual roots. Other than us human beings, who don't have that same clarity of purpose, who don't always understand what we're here for. And in Savu Taiva Gedola, the Jewish people turned to God and they said, we feel this great longing to understand for ourselves too, what our role, what our mission, what our achievements are meant to be. And Hashem said, in this one time in Jewish history, I will grant you this. I'll give you your encampments. We'll each know exactly where you're meant to be. You'll know how you're meant to settle, according to your flag and your tribal arrangements, next to your families. And each one of you, crucially, on your own side, your different angle to the Mishkan, knowing with clarity your spiritual roots, your purpose, your own perspective, and unique angle in serving Hashem. And this is the Mecholas Machanaim. This is the great joy that the Jewish people can fall back on later on in their history. We don't have this clarity this time. We're tempted, Matechsu b'Shalamis. The voice of seduction says to the Jewish people, let's see what you can achieve in the real world, the physical world, the world of material flourishing and success and wealth. But we're able to respond, Matechsu b'Shalamis k'mecholas Machanaim. We had at one stage in our history the joy of the encampment when we had a perfect clarity as to our own unique way of serving Hashem. And that clarity gives us the strength to realize that's what really matters in life. So when we read the Parshat of Bamidbar describing the encampment, and as we approach Shavuot, we're remembering not just the giving of the Torah, but also the clarity that came with it at that point in time, and that we can re-bring back into our lives to think and reflect upon what really matters to us, what our own unique qualities are, how we can really make a difference in our own unique way, and realize that that is really what counts. Shavuot is approaching. We're not going to be able to learn together face-to-face. The shul will be giving out resources, learning resources, a range of different options and levels for everyone so that one can learn at home over Shavuot by oneself. We've also got a fantastic series of shiurim coming up next week, so please take advantage of these. Have a look at our website and what's on offer, and that way we'll be able to approach Shavuot with learning, with Torah, and also finding those crucial few moments to perhaps think about how we can uniquely, in our own way, bring that clarity of vision and find some meaning and difference that we can make to the world, to relive that joy of the encampment in the desert when we have clarity of purpose and vision. So I wish you all a good Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov, because of course Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday, and Chag Sameach, have a wonderful Yom Tov of Shavuos.